Dental Fuel, the podcast that focuses on what no one else is talking about: mistakes. The dental world is full of before and afters, and no one is talking about the middle. Dental Fuel brings you the unspoken in between. Dental Fuel is brought to you by Ignite DDS Coaching, empowering dentists to build self-determined futures. Together, we're shaping the next generation of leaders in dentistry. Identifying and fostering leadership qualities among team members is important, as well as regular evaluation and training. In this episode, Dr. Willey talks about team development and leadership skills, as well as some team mistakes. I'd like to go back to something that you were saying a little bit earlier. You talked a little bit about the importance of relying on your team and designating different roles to team members. I would like to know, things that you find important in building a team and different team mistakes that you have found or you have encountered throughout your dental journey.
Well, the first thing I think is you need to evaluate each team member and see if they have some leadership qualities. They may not be perfect leaders, and as we have grown, I've taken some wonderful people that have had to learn some leadership skills and have hard conversations with some of their team members. So I think that's one of the things, is setting expectations for your team. We have quarterly retreats where we actually take a day, the seven of us, and really sit down and analyze our key performance indicators, where the practice is at. Are we on track and setting new goals for the practice? I don't want anybody to think that it's all about the money, because it's really, our goal is to really make patients happy and really kind of see how many people's lives we can touch. And so that's one of the things we really look at. The numbers are great. There are driving factors because it is a business, but overall it's a profession. And everyone in our office understands that you have to care about those patients. And if you're a leader, you have to care about your team members. And you have to have sometimes some hard conversations with these team members. The beauty is, as you grow your practice, you can expand your team. But you typically are going to need at least an office manager, a front desk person, and one of your team leads in the back, And if you have a hygienist, a hygiene team lead. And that way they can pass all the important information that needs to be passed on, typically on a monthly basis, to these team members. But, I think it's just finding the right people. And COVID has definitely presented challenges as the new workforce comes back into the business world. It is hard to find some people that want to work in the way you work. So I won't say it's been easy. We have recycled a number of people through here, but when you have 18 people on your team, not including the doctors, you have to find the right people and constantly be training them too, so that they know what their expectations are. So we're constantly working on training too.
COVID definitely did a number on our profession in numerous ways, which is crazy. But the workforce, I think, was one of the ways that it really, really hit it. But those tough conversations are so challenging, especially as a new dentist. It can be very uncomfortable to have those conversations because it's different. You're not used to having those conversations, but they're important. They're important for the practice as a whole. They're important for the care that you're giving to your patients. What is some advice that you would give to a newer dentist, or maybe even a seasoned dentist who has difficulty in having those tough conversations?
Well, sometimes I think you have to sit down and say what is working well. You always want to start off with something. Hey, this is what's working well. Here's an area of concern or an area of growth that we can have. And sometimes on these tough conversations, I put a dot on one side of the board. That's you. A dot on this side, that's me. And up top here is our end goal. And if we can't get to this goal, then something's going to have to change. It's probably not going to be me. But, you have to say, and I'm willing to train you up to get to this point if you're willing to put in the effort and if you believe in it. But if not, then we're going to train you out and help you find someplace else to go. But I can tell you the times where some of my key team members have left, I've found somebody even better. And it's just the way, the good Lord sometimes works for us. And sometimes another door opens. And when we feel very frustrated, sometimes we just got to keep pushing on and understand that sometimes there are going to be some tough conversations, and hopefully the team member will get on board. But you have to do this sometimes with your associate dentists. There's certain things you're going to need to do to be successful. I can't provide you all the new patients all the time. You're going to have to be out in the community doing certain things that allow you to be seen out in the community, that you're not just a doctor, you're somebody participating in the community. So you have to have those conversations sometimes with doctors. Um, I tell people the days of me just closing the door and going home, I'm always out trying to do things. I don't coach baseball anymore, but I was coaching baseball, coaching soccer, you name it. And now our associates are involved in a lot of community events. And I really feel that they get great pride in understanding that they're contributing back to the community. And that's one of the, the core values you have to also impart to your team members. Or what are your core values? And, that's some of our leadership has really sat down one day and spelled out 6 just key core values. When we interview somebody, do you understand all these core values? Tell me what the definition of them is. All right, good. Are these important to you? Because if they're not, somebody's just punching a clock. They don't care about integrity. They don't care about being positive mental attitude. They don't care about being a team player. Don't care about being proactive. These are all things that are so important to me, and a commitment to excellence. That that these things that everybody on this team knows, that those are our core values that the team needs to know about.
I couldn't agree more with that. I think that oftentimes there are many who treat dentistry as just a job. You go in, you do your work, you leave, you clock out, and you're done. But I think there's so much more to it. It's a profession. It's important for us to play a role in our community, to let our community know that, we're not only there for them when they're in our chair and in our office, but we're there for them, outside, and we're there for them in different activities in the community. And so I think that that's huge. And I think that that's something that I hope that we continue to see, especially with the newer dentists. I hope that they feel that they're passionate about, the profession and what the future of the profession is, but also what they can do for their patients, both in and out of the practice.
Yeah, just a quick story. We do an annual day of giving, like Dentistry from the Heart. We've been doing this for 13 years, and the community just knows that that's our practice. They know one day in the summer, we're going to open up our practice and we're going to do a procedure on whoever shows up that day. And, I can't tell you that has not been really something that has helped us grow our practice, but also provide a real sense of team. And our team looks forward to it. All of them work for free that day. And we call it the 12 hours of dentistry. We start at 5 a.m. We end sometimes at 5 or 6 at night. And it's just a way to give back. So, that's another thing that we feel is very important. And I would encourage others, if you can open up your practice one day. We put a tent outside. We have people checking in at sometimes 5, 6, 7 hours before that day opens up. And you get one procedure, a cleaning, removal of a tooth, or filling. And we circle them in, and I have 4 other dentists that join us. And now we see well over 100 patients on that day. So just an idea to give back.
I bet you that you receive so much more from that one day of giving than anything else. But
our team looks forward to it. They love getting hugs from patients. They're out in the community. You see an LDA on their shirt. Somebody goes, "Hey, you do that free day, don't you?" That's part of our culture, and I would encourage others to do it. It's just, in a small community like ours, you really can make a big difference.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yes. And I hope that our listeners who are out there, maybe they're thinking of doing something like this. That they incorporate that into their practice. We hope you're enjoying our conversation with Dr. Willey. Join in next week where he shares some expert advice. Ready to take the next step in your journey? Book an intro call with Ignite DDS Coaching today and level up your future in dentistry.